I'm wearing a ton of makeup, but it doesn't look bad. And I'm gonna really load up my brush with this. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be testing out some conventional beauty techniques using clean products. I wanted to make this video because you guys don't already know, I used to be obsessed with conventional beauty. I still love watching conventional beauty gurus because I feel like they bring a really glam side of makeup that's not really in clean beauty, which is actually why I started this channel, because there's types of videos that I like to watch and I feel like they're not a lot in the clean beauty community, which is why I want to do this video to see if we could use clean products but do the same conventional techniques. I'd love for you guys to subscribe if you're not already, and if you want to see how I ended up getting this look, then keep on watching. Okay guys, let's get this video started. If you're wondering about how I got this glowy base, I mixed in the Ilia Liquid Light Serum Highlighter in the shade Nova with my moisturizer, and it looks so pretty. I didn't know it was going to be this glowy, really gorgeous. First time trying it that way, and it's real pretty, girl. Loving it. Okay, what are we doing today? So as you already probably know from the intro, today we're going to be trying out some conventional beauty techniques using clean products. I actually got this idea watching Sam's, I forgot what her last name is, Sam's video. She did a full face of using makeup techniques that she hates, and that got me thinking that I wanted to do a video trying out the conventional beauty techniques but using clean products. Things like a really full coverage base, really like filled in eyebrows, some baking, we're going to do color correcting, a ton of concealer, we're going to be doing contouring, cut creases, just really glam things that I feel like I don't see a lot in the clean beauty community, which is why I wanted to make this video, because I know I love watching those types of videos. Even if they're things that I don't do on the daily basis, I think they're fun to, you know, see some new techniques, maybe try out some new ones. Let's start off with primer. I really love the 100% Pure Mattifying Primer. I wanted to use this because it feels just like a silicone primer, which I feel like are pretty popular, but it does not have any silicone in it, which is like amazing. It literally feels just like a silicone primer. I'm only going to put this in the center part of my face just because the rest I want to keep pretty glowy. And then I'm just going to put it where I get oily, so basically my T-zone. So next up we're going to try some color correcting. These are the Pacifica Blemish Banish Mineral Correcting Creams. I just got these, but I've been really enjoying them so far. There's a yellow, a pink, and a green in this palette. I'm using mostly the green and the yellow. We're going to try to use all three of these today. So the first one I'm going to use is the peachy one. This is meant for under your eyes to like correct any sort of darkness. My favorite way is to like put this on my hand before I put it on my face, because you do have to warm it up a little bit before you use it, or else it just doesn't like blend as well. So I'm just taking a little bit of that and I'm gonna pat it under my eyes. So as you can tell, I did a pretty good job at brightening up any sort of darkness. I'm also gonna take it just a little bit on like my chin area to brighten up those dark spots. I'm just actually blending out with a sponge. I like to apply it with my fingers and then use the sponge. I think it just blends the best that way. And then next I'm going to go in with the yellow shade, which corrects redness. The yellow and the green both do a good job at correcting redness. I feel like the yellow is more for like neutralizing, and the green is like if you have some really like red blemishes or just like drastic redness. But I'm just going to be using the yellow just on my cheeks a little bit, and also on my blemishes down here, and a little bit around my nose. And then I'm also using a sponge for this shade as well. Alright, we're pretty color corrected now. Moving on to the foundation, we're going to do a full coverage base. Love me some full coverage. I pulled out two of the most full coverage foundations that I own. The Pacifica Light Clean Foundation, and then the Sunday Riley The Influencer Foundation. I haven't used this in so long, so I thought I would pull these two out and give them a go. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix these up on the back of my hand and then apply them. I might add a little bit of the Drunk Elephant The Bronzy if the shade's a little light. I'm not sure if either of these work for me. I think this one's a little light, and then I don't remember how this shade works, so we'll just see how this ends up going. So I'm just gonna do like a pump of the Pacifica and then a pump of the Sunday Riley foundation. The Sunday Riley foundation is a lot more liquidy, so I think it goes well with the Pacifica one just to thin it out a little bit, but it still has a lot of coverage. I think that shade looks okay, so we're gonna leave it how it is. Alright, this combo's looking pretty good. It's really full coverage, but it doesn't look too cakey quite yet. Usually the Pacifica one can look a little cakey on its own, but I think because the Sunday Riley one is a bit of a thinner consistency, it's definitely helping to make it look a little bit more natural on the skin. I don't know if you guys already know this, but I used to be obsessed with conventional makeup. Like I started watching beauty gurus like when I was so young, like literally when I first discovered YouTube. I watched like Bethany Moda's room tour, and then I found like her beauty videos, and then I started watching like, what was that, Juicy Star 07, and then like her sister, and then just like all of those OG beauty gurus. And I remember my first favorite foundation was like the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. And then it was the Revlon Color Stay. I used to mix like 2 shades. I really loved full coverage, as you could tell from my 2 favorite foundations. And then I feel like my makeup techniques definitely changed. I don't always have to wear full coverage now. I feel like now that I focus more on skincare as well, like I just don't need full coverage anymore. And I could use lighter coverage foundations, but I still think it's so fun to like wear full coverage. Okay, this actually looks way better than I expected. I did mean to put my brows on before my foundation so we could like carve them out with concealer, but we'll just go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna use the Eco Brow in the shade Sharon, just because I feel like this is most like the Anastasia Dip Brow, which is like a traditional, conventional beauty technique to do really carved out brows with a pomade like that one. So that is the most similar thing that I had. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a brush and then we will do some dramatic brows. If you guys used to use conventional beauty, let me know what your favorite foundation used to be in the comments below. Like I said, I used to love the Revlon Color Stay, the Tarte Amazonian Full Coverage Foundation. Then I also really loved, what was it, the Marc Jacobs, like, I don't even know what it was called. It was extremely full coverage, like it was crazy. And they also had a shade that was light enough for me, which is why I loved it. It was like 60 bucks though. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments below what your favorite was. I'd love to know. Now that I have like the basic shape going on, I'm gonna go ahead and put a brow gel on before I clean them up. I'm gonna use the Eco Brow Clear Gel. Really love the brush on this. It's like double-sided, so one is like really good for picking up the hairs and then the other one's good for like smoothing them out. Really love the design on that brush. I'm just gonna go ahead and set them down. And now that they're set down, I'm gonna go in with the Pacifica Natural Mineral Liquid Cover Full Coverage Concealer. I'm gonna take this on the back of my hand and then use a brush to carve them out. If you guys have ever seen people do that with their brows, they kind of like put them on and then clean them up. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a flat brush like this and clean these bad boys up. I'm gonna take another brow gel to make my brows even more bold. This one's from Beauty Counter. It's just called their brow gel. I have the shade Light. This bad boy works so good at like thickening up your brows and just filling them in even more. If you like a bushy brow look too, this is like amazing. Moving on to contour, I'm gonna take the Honest Beauty Sculpted Medium Contour and Highlight Kit. There are 3 shades in here, a highlight and 2 cream contours. I'm not going to use the highlight, but I am going to mix together these 2 cream shades and do some cream contouring. I feel like, I don't think I've ever done cream contouring on my channel that I remember, maybe like a cream bronzer, but we're going to go ahead and try it out. Not something I would do on the daily, but I think it's going to be super fun to see how this ends up working. So I'm going to take them on this little Luxie, this is called their small contouring brush. Taking those same shades on my nose as well. Alright, this actually isn't looking half bad. I'm going to do my concealer with the same Pacifica concealer. I'm also going to clean up under the contour with the Au Naturel cream foundation in the shade Porcelain. This is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so it's like a little bit of a highlight as well. Next, we're going to bake our face with the Ilia Fade Into You Soft Focus Finishing Powder. I used to bake, but I don't really think it looks good on my skin now. I don't know why, I can't get it to work for me. It makes me look really dry and just crepey and not good. So, I don't have high hopes for this, but we're gonna try it out. I haven't tried this powder baking either, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work. But we're just gonna take a crap ton of powder and pat that on with a sponge, of course. I already feel my face drying out. It's like the desert. If you guys aren't familiar with baking, basically the concept is that you put on so much powder that it traps your body heat, and then the body heat sort of molds your concealer and foundation and the powder together so that when you wipe the powder off, it's really locked into place. So we're just gonna go ahead and let all this powder bake, and then let's go ahead, we'll start doing our eye makeup. So starting with the eyes, I'm gonna use the Aether Beauty Rose Quartz Crystal Gemstone palette. I'm gonna take this matte light brown shade called Sandstone as a transition shade. Next, I'm going to dip into the Honest Beauty Get It Together eyeshadow palette and use this shade right here just to deepen it up. Like I said, we're going to attempt to do a cut crease, so wish me luck. I'm not sure how long my face has been baking, but I went ahead and deepened up the crease of my eye. So I think it's adequate time to take off my bake. I don't really know, probably been like 5 minutes. I'm gonna take this really fluffy Pro Precision tapered brush from Luxie. I'm so scared to do this, but let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so this side actually looks pretty good, but for some reason on this side, there's like these splotches where it kind of like stuck to, I don't know, maybe my dry skin. It like stayed white even after I'm brushing it off. But honestly, this side looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't look too dry. I had a lot of product on, so I think it did a pretty good job at like locking all of that in. It feels really drying, but I'm sure my makeup will last a really long time. Alright, before I move on to the rest of the eyes, let's finish up the face. I'm going to use the Han Cosmetics Malibu Bronzer. Couldn't really think of a conventional bronzer technique. If you guys know of any, definitely let me know. I can only really think of like contouring. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this as I usually would. Blush, I'm going to take the Han Cosmetics Candy Coral. I wanted to use this because it's a dupe for the NARS Orgasm Blush. Then I'm taking a tapered fluffy brush to apply this. Now for highlight, of course we have to do a blinding highlight, so I'm using the PYT Upgrade Highlighter, which is just a light champagne, and I'm gonna really load up my brush with this and just go crazy with it. Okay, so far with the face, I think it's actually turning out better than I expected. From what I remember doing these techniques, they did look good, and I thought the clean products, just because they're probably not really made for these types of techniques, that they wouldn't perform as well. But so far, it's looking pretty good. Like, I'm wearing a ton of makeup, but it doesn't look bad. And that Ilia powder that was kind of stuck to certain places, it did warm up with my skin a little bit better. I was kind of scared because this is so white that it wasn't gonna bake well, but looking pretty good. I'm wearing a ton of makeup, like I said, like way more than I usually do on the daily basis. But doing the techniques that I've tried so far with the products, they're working just as well as the conventional products I used to use with these same techniques. So really surprised by that. I'm gonna zoom you guys in actually a little bit just so you can see how it looks really up close on the texture on my face. So here's what it looks like up close. I don't really think it looks too bad. I feel like my under eyes usually look pretty creasy, and I thought the baking would make them look like super creepy, but they don't look horrible. They're actually looking pretty smooth. I think once I have some shadow under there, it'll look good. The bake, surprisingly, like I said, isn't looking too powdery. So yeah, let's go ahead, and my battery's about to die, but we will finish up our eyes after that. All right, we are back in business here. Let's finish up this eye look. I'm gonna use the same Pacifica concealer I've been using for all my other concealer needs. I'm gonna take some on the back of my hand, and I'm going to cut my crease with that using a flat brush, if I can find one. So I actually have done a cut crease look before on my channel. It's in my full face of Lila B video, which was quite a while ago. And honestly, I kind of forgot how to do it. Now for my lid shade, I think I'm going to use the same Aether Beauty Rose Quartz palette. I'm going to take this, it's like one of the duochrome shades. It's a really light champagne color. And I'm going to use that wet on a brush to get a lot of impact from it. I feel like that might work a little better with my finger. So let's try that. Yeah, I would say these definitely work better with your finger. Even compared to a wet brush, I think it just spreads the pigment a little more evenly because they are like a duochrome. They're not really a smooth metallic. Okay, so I felt like my lid, I want it to be a little bit warmer, so I did go in with this Honest Beauty gold shade right there and patted that on my lid dry. I feel like it doesn't really look like a cut crease. It kind of just looks like a regular eyeshadow look. Anyway, besides that, we're gonna go ahead and finish up the eyes. I did put that gold under my lash line a little bit as well, but I'm gonna do some wing liner and of course do some lashes, and we will be back for the lips. Okay, our eyes are complete. If you guys are curious about the lashes, eyeliner, or mascara that I used, again, everything will be in the description below, so if you have any questions, check down there. Let's go ahead and get onto the lips. Of course, for our lips, we're going to be overlining them. I'm going to use the Eye of Horus lip liner. This one's in the shade Arabian Sands. These are one of my favorite lip liners. They're really long lasting. And let's just get started. Of course, we're doing overlining our lips. One of the most popular conventional makeup techniques. I feel like that everyone still does. Not everyone bakes anymore, but overline lips, they're still in. So I do actually overline my lips most days, slightly, not as dramatic as I'm going to do it today. So this is one technique that I use in my everyday makeup routine. Next, I'm actually going to be using a new launch from Lila B. These are their Lovingly Lip Tinted Lip Oils. These are so good. I have two shades I'm going to mix. Be Elegant and Be Romantic. This one's more of a nude, and then this is like a really light pink shade. These are really great. They did just release these. They're super hydrating, but they give you a really nice amount of color, but they're not too sticky, and when they wear off, they just give you the nicest like moisturizing residue left. Not really residue, but it feels really nice on the lips is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to take the first shade, Be Elegant. Yeah, Be Elegant, which is the deeper one. I'm taking that lighter shade for the center of my lips. Okay, that was it for the look. I had so much fun making this video. It feels super glam. Definitely feels and looks like I have makeup on. Obviously, it's not something I'm going to be doing every day, but it was so fun to test out clean products using conventional techniques. Actually surprised me. I feel like it looks way better than I thought it would. I really thought the baking would like ruin my whole face makeup, but it actually looks really smooth. Again, not something I would do on the daily basis, but for like a special occasion or just one day you feel like getting real glam, this would be so fun to do. Alright guys, that was it for today's video. I had a ton of fun making it. If you enjoyed this video at any point, definitely give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments below if you like these types of glam videos or if you want to see more natural looks or any other suggestions. Feel free to drop them below. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.